This is a Russian Special Forces 24-hour mountain ration. It's extremely rare, and it's used by Spetsnaz in high-altitude, rigid, and cold climate operations. Chiming in at over 5,000 calories per ration, it provides the calorific content required for its general scope of design. So without further ado, let's give it a look. There's no tabs to pull, so I'm just going to make a slight insertion here. Yeah, there we go, that should do the trick. Wow, look at that. Looks like something maybe burst in here. Oh yeah, there sure was. Bummer. You can see something happened here. Maybe it was just the coffee that leaked. Who knows? Yeah, it was just the coffee. Coffee had a tear, unfortunately. No big deal, it's just the coffee. Could have been worse, because got all over this cheese spread with water purification tablet just sitting there. That's not that bad. That's definitely cheese spread, by the way. Processed cheese. Alright, let's keep going. See what's in here. Some tea. Alright, we're going to find out what these entrees are. You know, it's probably like stewed beef and barley type stuff. We'll translate it in just a minute. 20-gram packets of sugar. Totaling 60 grams of sugar just in... That's decent. Antiseptic towelettes. Smells kind of funky in there. Here's something interesting. There are 5 bars of chocolate in this thing. 5 bars of dark chocolate. More drink mixes. Pate. More pate. This is impressive. Look at this little tool. It's to open up packets, but I was thinking maybe it was for something else too. You never know. Looks handy. Multi-purpose tool. Water purification tablets. Yeah, that coffee kind of made a little bit of a mess. Certainly could have been worse. Could have been one of those pouches of meat that could have burst. Look at that. And by the way, these are a thermostabilized pouch. The only thermostabilized pouch entrees for any Russian rations I've ever seen. And this looks like a flameless ration heater. Look at that. We'll see how that performs. Got a second one here, I believe. Yeah, look at that. Pepper, or maybe that's salt. We'll find out. Could be creamer, not sure. Bunch of packs of crackers, 3 spoons, and another water purification tablet. And let's get it laid out. Nice. Alright, so this is a huge ration. I first want to start with, this is pork brain pate. That's what it literally translates as. Pork brains and pork fat. This is pork liver, brains, and fat. Not bad. And this here is for breakfast. You get 3 packs of breakfast muesli. I mean, it has dried fruit and dried milk in it. You know, that's pretty cool. And this is a nut and apricot fruit bar. Never seen one of those before. And your standard Russian tea, you can always count on those. I've had Russian rations before, and this tea comes in every single one of those, and it's always decent. We're going to pass on the coffee. It's, well, maybe we'll have some coffee, but I mean, there's really not much left in there. Might get like 3 or 4 ounces of coffee if it's not disgusting and stale. Put that to the side for now. And here's like an apple jelly, apple butter. And this here is minced sausage. We've got beef porridge, beef goulash with potatoes, 5 20-gram dark chocolate bars, 5 of these packs of crackers, 3 20-gram packs of sugar, and here's a concentrated cherry drink mix. That sounds pretty good. Here's something interesting. 2 types of antiseptic towelettes. This one is to wash your utensils. This one is the antiseptic for washing your hands and face and whatnot. I'm guessing this one here is a little more strong, maybe not as easy on the skin. This is your flameless ration heater. Comes in the main pouch, and then here's your extra. They like save an extra bag. They make you reuse this main bag. But here's your extra actual heater. Processed cheese. Here's something interesting. It's like Nutella. This is a chocolate hazelnut spread. And I've had those before in IRPs. They're always delicious. Salt, pepper. Here's a vitamin tab, a daily vitamin. That's pretty cool. All right, you get some water purification tablets. Each one's good for 1 liter of water. And I don't think I'm missing anything. So with that being said, let's start with breakfast and get this out onto a tray. Nice. All right, so I want to first start with this porridge. This thing doesn't have any perforations. Let's see what this does. Oh yeah, that really does cut through stuff. That thing could practically be like an arrowhead. I mean, that looks like an all-purpose tool slash weapon, that thing. Leave it up to the Russians to have something cool like that. Well, check that out. Not bad. Smells perfect. The dry milk is still perfectly fresh in there, which is always nice. That doesn't always hold. While that's reconstituting and doing its thing, we're going to check out the rest of this. Gonna open up a pack of crackers real quick and get that brain pate on there. I mean, it literally translates out to brains on both of them. I mean, that's kind of neat. And you know what? These things actually aren't stale for once. I have run into IRP crackers, and I've had 5 IRPs before this one. 4 out of the 5 times, these were stale. I just tried a piece, and it's perfect. It's actually, that's delicious. They're slightly buttery. All right, let's check out that. Whoa, that came off pretty easily. It's fine though. Look at that chocolate hazelnut spread. That looks decent. I'm gonna pass on heating the mince sausage. I just don't see it being necessary. And there's the mince sausage. Gotta break that open. Yeah, it's like a pate. It's almost like a Spam. See? Yeah, that's actually better not being heated. Like, to my taste, I wouldn't be heating it. It's not necessary. Save those flameless ration heaters for the 2 main entrees. Everything else, other than the drinks that need to be hot, and then the cereal, which actually instructions said could be prepared hot or cold, and I used hot water. Everything else, good to go. All right, let's check out the brains. Smells good. Oh, wow, look at that. Looks good. Smells delicious. We'll check it out in just a sec. Chocolate bar. Get that unwrapped real quick. Hasn't oxidized or bloomed at all. That's always nice. Not like it makes much of a difference unless it's like really old. Even then, you can still eat some pretty old chocolate. Trust me. Cherry drink mix. Oh, look at the color on that. This is the multivitamin. I'm actually going to take that right now. Has an outer sugar coating. I've had these before. They actually taste good. Tastes like it could be like a hard candy. Goes down easy. Liver, brain, and pork fat pate. Has a little bit smoother looking texture. And it looks a little more brown, a little darker. That's got to be the liver. And I'm a fan of pate, so I'm definitely going to enjoy these. Oh, that tea. It's of good quality. I mean, it certainly beats Ukrainian ration tea. I'll talk about that Ukrainian ration one of these days. I had an experience with one last year. Alright, let that do its steeping. Looking good. I'm going to go for that mince sausage first, which looks almost like Spam. And I suppose you could eat it hot. I'm opting for cold. Glad I went cold. Hot, I don't think would have gone right. An excellent thing to have cold. I like the little bit of fat on the outside there. That's just definitely going to add to the flavor and consistency of this. Check that out. That looks great. Well, might not look great, but it certainly tastes great. It has a nice, rich sausage. I mean, like a sausage pate, but more firm than, say, something like this. Which, by the way, I'm just going to get this brains. And I love them. Let's try the liver pate real quick. Look at that. A nice, smooth, creamy liver pate. That's actually even smoother and creamier than this. This has that nice iron, you know, from the liver flavor. It's savory. It has more flavor. But some people would actually probably like this one more. I have a feeling anybody who doesn't really like liver pate would certainly enjoy this more. All right, let's try out that muesli cereal, which has golden raisins in it. Check that out. It's pretty nice. Hydrated very well. Check out that rice. It's a certain kind of processed rice from what it says on the ingredients list. I taste vanilla. And it reconstituted really nicely. A little bit thick, but I tend to enjoy a hot cereal or oatmeal or any of that, personally, my own taste, to not be too watery. So for me, this is just right. Delicious. All right, let's try out. This is really nice. What a dessert item. A rich, chocolatey, creamy hazelnut spread. And I have had this before, and it never fails on being fantastic. Look at that. It's sweeter than Nutella, and has a stronger chocolate flavor. Just try it off the spoon. Let's try it with the cracker. That just blows my mind. It makes this almost taste like shortbread because this thing's buttery. A lot of times these things go slightly rancid by the time you get them. Unfortunately, that coffee tore open, but other than that, this thing was so well stored. These crackers that usually go stale, and trust me, I've been out camping, I've used these things as tinder when they're stale. This time I won't be. Nice. Alright, the cherry drink, which using cold water, the sugar never reconstitutes properly. So, we're going to give it a good stir. Then we can give an accurate reading. It almost looks like pink lemonade, doesn't it? Very mild flavor. As you can tell, I enjoyed it. Oh geez, I'm just going to finish that. I like the thick granules of sugar, although not reconstituting really well with cold water. Still delicious. Let's try out this tea. It's steeped for about 5 minutes. Check it out. Tastes kind of like orange pico or something. It really has that smell. It's very mild, a quality black tea, I will say. I mean, it's not the best tea in the world, but again, it's better than certain other rations tea that I have had. Smooth, give you a nice little pick-me-up, and to go with this dark chocolate that we're about to try, we'll see how it goes. Tastes like about 60% cocoa. Slightly creamy, pretty dry, which is appropriate for a dark chocolate. Nice little morale boost. Nice. Breakfast was a hit. I mean, you can eat it any way you want, but this is what I would have picked for breakfast. Well, it is what I picked for breakfast. So, I'd say, not bad. Love that mince sausage. It even has a slightly smoky flavor to it. Alright, so let's go over to lunch and check that out. I forgot to mention, it was produced May 27th, 2015 with an expiration of March 27th, 2017. Alright, so I finished up that breakfast, and I gotta say that liver pate was a little bit strong on its own. We're gonna just have an antiseptic towel to try this out here. See what this is looking like. Lightly moist. So, the liver pate was great. I put it on the cracker that kind of cut the strong liver flavor. It's odorless, probably like benzalkonium chloride or something. Decent, odorless antiseptic, very mild. Nice cloth texture. Quality, look at that. I mean, that's nice. The pork brain pate was buttery. It was mild. It was the best pate I've ever had. You know, I had to, as I finished that, the hazelnut spread, with or without the cracker, absolutely delicious, rich, better than Nutella. And that cereal, that muesli cereal, was a nice, creamy, vanilla, lightly sweet, golden raisin undertone. I loved it. That breakfast was delicious. Alright, so let's throw some lunch out on this tray. Nice. Okay, so first I want to get this beef goulash with potatoes. Kind of move it down the bottom of the pouch because we're going to throw this in that flameless ration heater. Check out how that's working. Potato point there. There are instructions, pictorial instructions that show to fold it over and then take this tape and peel it up and close it off on that. And you get 2 pieces of tape here. I'm going to use one for this entree, replace out the actual FRH element, and replace it with the other one for dinner. We're going to see how this performs, hopefully pretty well. Let's fold that up. It's going to take a minute. Ooh, listen. Get that heating element activated evenly with the water. Kind of push it around a little bit. Whoa. Holy jeez. It totally reminds me of a Japanese FRH. Let's get that out of the way. It's steaming everything. Where's a rock or something when you need it? There you go. Check that out. That thing means business. I've only seen an FRH perform like that one other time, like I said, with a Japanese self-defense force ration, flameless ration heater, and that's definitely going to heat it up pretty quick. Well, that's doing its thing. We're going to check out the Apricot Nut Bar. Hey, that thing's pretty nice. Oh, that smells delicious. Look at that thing. Looks like a very nice and rich energy bar. Nice. Alright, so I'm going to try that real quick. A delicious, strong apricot flavor. Mainly fruit, fibery, wholesome. That is absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna actually save the tea for dinner, since our coffee, well, let's just check out the coffee real quick. Messed up as it probably is. The coffee looks good, it's just we lost more than half of it. Has still a pretty nice and rich color to it. Fair enough. It actually has a nice flavor to it, even though it opened up in the package. It must not have been that long ago, maybe during shipping. It has a slight chicory flavor, mildly acidic, light roast. Might also seem like a light roast because only half the portion of it. Has some more cherry drink. It's vibrant as it looks. Its flavor is mainly sweet with a slight fruity undertone, and the kind of fruity you just can't even put your finger on it. It's like, is that cherry? Is it just fruit punch? I don't know, but it's not bad. The FRH is still doing its thing, so we're gonna check this out. Boy, that sugar really does not want to mix in there. This thing's almost like you'd want to have it as a hot drink, because I mean, look at that. You really have to stir away. Like, drop it in the canteen and shake it like crazy would probably be the way to go to actually give it an even mixing. Processed cheese really reminds me of Australian CR1M processed cheese, only this is a little bit stronger, a little bit more oily. Very smooth texture. Has a nice strong cheese smell to it here too, a little bit funky. It's delicious, slightly sharp, creamy. That FRH is still heating up. This is the scoop on it. I'm gonna pick down here, try some cheese on a cracker. Looking good. I really like the slight buttery shortening undertone of the crackers. The texture is a perfect balance, not like Panzer cracker firm like those Lithuanian crackers from the Lithuanian ration. This is a delicious cracker with cheese. I feel like it's a perfect combination. Definitely brings out the flavor of both. An excellent pairing. Let's see how this entree is fared on heating. I have this feeling it really did its thing here. Oh yeah. Nice and warm. Perfectly even heating. And this element is still hot. This mountain ration could benefit from a hot beverage bag that you could drop in there to heat up some water. Although you do get that mini stove and those 6 matches. But we're gonna save that. I mean, most of us have already seen how these operate. As the 4 legs, you fold it in, you put a heating element under it. And I mean, if you got your mess kit, why is that one green and the other's red? That's something I don't know. If anybody knows anything about that, it'd be great. But these I'm saving. And I recommend most of you folks, if you happen to get a Russian IRP, or if you have the pleasure of getting this mountain ration, save that mini stove for when you really need it. Those things are extremely useful. Say your power goes out or what have you. Get that cherry drink real quick. A sip. That time, using lukewarm water, I can actually pick up the cherry flavor more. That's actually more enjoyable with room temp water than it is with cold. Oh wow, look at that. Beef goulash with potatoes. Not bad. A really natural kind of smell. It does not taste or smell like a canned food per se. It really reminds me of those Lithuanian rations. And if anything, higher quality than those. Impressive. Can't wait to try this out. You can see here there's carrot, some quality cut beef, and some really nice little cuts of potato. And a little bit of a broth at the bottom here. That's beautiful. You know, the first thing I can taste on that's the potato and carrot. The beef has a nice body to it. That is fantastic. So far, this ration is incredibly fresh and of great quality. And you know what? I'm not going to need this salt and pepper. It does not need this. I mean, maybe for some palate that's needing a little bit more spice, but I don't think this requires it. At least not for me. Imagine I'm going to throw the sugar in the coffee just for the old hoot of it. Look at the granules. They're not 100% bleached. It's not overly processed. 20 grams of sugar and a little bit of coffee. That's going to have some sweet zing to it. Alright, so I'm going to get another bite of this. I mean, look at this thing. It's like a really nice health food bar. It's like a fruit leather with nuts. And personally, I'm a big fan of anything apricot. Kind of has a cross between the flavors of like a pie and a jam. Let's get another look at this carrot, potato, and beef goulash. That has a fresh, almost kind of cafeteria quality to it. Not in a bad way. It is miles in quality above a canned food scenario. And definitely the best Russian ration entree I've ever had. Those potatoes are wholesome, quality flavor. You know, while we're out of here, let's just have some more chocolate, because you know what? The world's not complete without it. Some more cherry drink. Let's go for that coffee with the sugar. Oh, wow. Probably only needed about half that sugar pack in there. But the cheese, absolutely delicious. Crackers, awesome. The beef potato goulash is fantastic. And you know, my favorite part out of this has to be this fruit bar so far. I mean, I just wish I had 20 of these things. Look at that. Here's a good combo. Fruit, nut, and dark chocolate. Just what a grown boy needs. Alright, let's move on over to dinner. Okay, that lunch was fantastic. But now we're just going to be keeping it light for dinner. What we got left is the beef porridge, cherry drink, tea, bar of chocolate, pack of crackers, and that fruit spread. Alright, so let's get this out onto a tray. Nice. Alright, so got that extra heating element here. We're going to get that beef porridge heated up. What I love about this multi-purpose tool is not only could it be used for a punching weapon, no joke, but it can perforate through any of these things that don't have tear notches, and perfectly. I mean, it's sharp. Alright, let's drop that beef porridge in the Flameless ration heater bag, which is, they give you one, so you got to reuse it. So, should be alright. Takes a second to get going, like that last one, I'm assuming. Alright, we're just gonna use this glass as the rock or something. And while that's doing its thing, I'll use a tall glass for this tea this time. Some hot water in there. Yeah, it's starting to activate. Listen to that. It's intense. It smells like burning rubber. That's weird. Alright. While that's heating up, that plastic is molten hot. Can't even touch the thing. Alright, I'm just going to pick it up real quick. Get it over there. Just put that to the side for a minute. Last cherry drink. Definitely don't mind all this chocolate. It has the same amount of chocolate as a Polish SRG, just in separate packs, which I think is nice because you can just have a little as the day goes on and not worry about your chocolate getting messed up some way by opening up some big 100-gram pack. It's 5 20-grammers. Alright, actually, get this laid out. Oh wow. You know, this jam, this fruit spread, it's looking like apple butter. See that? Not bad. Pretty nice. Alright, let's try that out. Looking good. That's amazing. It's like a tangy apple fruit spread. It's almost like if they made Granny Smith apple butter. It's like slightly sour and very sweet, flavorful, just bursting with fruit flavor. Seems like there's a good amount of vitamin C in this. This is some of the best fruit spread I've ever had. And it's definitely apples. It's amazing. It's just kind of grainy, like not overly processed. Kind of like applesauce, but just more intense and thicker and sweeter. Alright. Nice and hot. I know that had to have fully heated this entree. It certainly feels like it. That doesn't look all that great. I'll say that. Let's try it out though. Beef porridge. You know, I would definitely be trading that for the beef goulash with potatoes. This isn't really my thing. I mean, the barley's nice, but that beef, it just kind of has a greasy flavor. Definitely the weakest part of this ration. It's just a little bit underwhelming, to say the least. I can only imagine if I had to eat that all the time, I would definitely hate it. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I'll give you another reading on this. It just tastes like a regular IRP entree, you know, it's just a little greasy, you know, predominantly just standard beef. I mean, I can taste some bay leaf in there. You know, let's follow it up with a little tea. That steeped a little longer, and I think it needed that. It's still just a very mild tea. It's similar to it's like a cross between orange pekoe and English breakfast tea. You know, it's a little less intense and bitter than orange pekoe. A little less tannic acid, but it's still a little bit stronger than English breakfast. Still, good tea. Pretty decent. Chocolate, on the other hand, absolutely amazing. Well, that just about wraps it up. I still have 2 bars of chocolate, 2 packs of sugar, 2 packs of that muesli or porridge. And that's going with me on my next camping trip. But this is a Russian 24-hour mountain ration. Incredible ration, I gotta say. Everything except for this beef and barley. You know, it's just underwhelming, very mild flavors, a little bit of bay leaf. It just tastes like salty beef porridge. And it doesn't need the salt or pepper, because it already has that kind of flavor and bay leaf. Nice to have some crackers that are actually good in a Russian IRP. Usually these things are stale. It's no wonder they go stale so fast though, because you can definitely taste the butter and shortening in them. And the way they're packed in that just thin, clear plastic wrapping, it's not the best for a long shelf life. Absolutely fantastic, and definitely one of the best military rations I've ever had. Alright, this is Steve 1989 off MREinfo.com. Hope you liked the video. I'll be coming back at you with something new. Alright, cool. See ya.